let me let you in on something. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, which is all about educational beauty. Now, if you're new, welcome. I really do hope you enjoy this space. We're all about honesty and transparency, so I think you're gonna love it here. Now, in this video, I'm gonna show you how I create a natural look for my textured skin. We all have different skin types, but I wanted to show you how I create that natural look when I have some kind of like acne scarring, some bumpiness, and also dark circles. So let's go through the video shortly, but if you like this video, then please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Don't forget, I'm also over on Instagram, so you can check me out there too. Now let's head straight into the video. So applying makeup and making sure it looks natural is actually quite difficult because it does all depend on how much makeup you feel that you need based on your skin. So for example, if you have extremely smooth skin, then you could go with something which has great coverage, but it still does look kind of natural on your skin, and you can play around with other features to keep the whole look looking natural. Or if you have very textured skin, then it's going to be a little bit harder because obviously no matter what light you're in, well, not no matter what light you're in, but in sunlight, you're going to be able to see the texture because it's kind of bumpy and you just, maybe some acne scarring, pitted skin. So you'll be able to see it. It's a lot more noticeable and it's just easy to kind of cover up pigmentation or blemishes, And then you have kind of like other skin which is in between in terms of textured skin. Like I have textured skin, but it isn't something that's kind of like really noticeable if, especially through camera, but face to face, I feel that it is quite textured because it isn't smooth. I do have a lot of kind of deep acne scarring around this, like clustered around this area here, which is annoying because as much as this is my better side, the skin isn't smooth. The skin is probably a bit smoother here, but it still is bumpy. It's definitely not super smooth. So as much as I don't have much discoloration or like kind of acne scarring in the sense of color, like how you get some dark patches like blemishes, I don't really suffer from that. It's pretty kind of uniform. Obviously I have darkness around the eyes, but my texture is not great. Like I have that kind of pitted skin there. So I'm going to start off with my first product, which is my Milk. This is the Electric Glossy Lip Plumper. I like putting this on first just because it kind of preps my lips and keeps them hydrated, and by the time I get to actual like lip application, it's actually a really nice color. So this is called Buzzed. It's just a really nice kind of, I don't know what color this is. It's just like a really nice color. Next, I'm going to go to my eye cream, and I'm using my Clarins Total Eye Lift. I'm using this all the time at the moment. I just read so much good stuff about this eye cream and it is pretty good. I mean, obviously it takes a bit of time to figure out how good it is. It doesn't, as much as we would love to, you cannot expect miracles overnight. So it's something that you've got to give any product a bit of time, to work properly so you can see results. Okay, I'm going to use my moisturizer, which is my Forever Living Products Aloe Moisturizing Lotion. That's what I'm using at the moment. Okay, now ultimately I have dark circles, so I still do want to have that really nice coverage there. So I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in medium, but you've probably seen I usually use a sponge to kind of pat it into my eyelids. I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion brush. So all I'm going to do is just put a little bit, probably not as much as I would usually use. And then I'm going to get the larger part of the brush and I'm just gonna like kind of buff this in. Now I'm not using a sponge today because I want a very natural look, and I feel like a sponge can really kind of give you that really opaque look. Okay, I'm getting my Ben Nye Banana powder, put a little bit in the palm of my hand. I'm getting my Real Techniques brush. I'm just gonna dust it over. So I just want a natural finish. So I feel like brushes are pretty good for that. Eyelids are done. I'm gonna now add some coverage to my under eyes. So same thing. Just gonna add a bit here. Now, I am going to use some primer, but what I'm going to do is let this sit for a second, because if you may know that I've actually said to you before in other videos that if you let your concealer sit there for just a little bit, it doesn't work with all concealers, but it does definitely work with the Tarte Shape Tape, then it kind of like gives you really good coverage when you start kind of blending it in. Now, what I'm doing is applying a primer to my cheek area. I'll put a little bit up here as well. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Soft Blurring Primer, and don't rub it in, just spread it. So it just leaves a really nice film. Now, I'm gonna go back to my under eyes with that same brush and I'm gonna blend this in. Just pressing it. So I'm kind of like this, just patting it on. Now I'm gonna use my foundation. I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever HD Skin foundation. This stuff is really good because it actually does let your skin look like skin. I'm gonna use the shade 3Y40 and I'm using my Makeup Forever 109 brush. So what I'm gonna do, I've got it at the back of my hand and I'm just kind of like spreading the brush. So what I'm doing is just kind of, you can see I'm not taking the whole lot, I've just taken a little bit and I'm coating the brush so that then the brush it's got a decent amount of product on there, but it's not a bulk amount of product. So I've kind of like buffed it into the brush first. If you buff it into the brush first, and you're not going to get those horrible kind of streak marks that stay there, and you haven't got too much product on your skin either. So you can keep kind of building it up as you go along. I'm going to start from the forehead, and what I'm doing, I'm kind of like flicking and dragging. So I was at the pool all day yesterday with my sister because she's flown back today. I was really crying this morning when she left with her new husband, because obviously they've been here for about a month now in Dubai for their destination wedding. And yeah, I was really sad to see her go. You know, hopefully I'm gonna see her again soon. And I was at the pool all day with her yesterday, and literally we were just sunbathing like full pool day, and I've got so brown, you can see. So that's why I'm able to go for a darker foundation shade today. Okay, can you see I'm like flicking it outwards? And you can kind of drag it if you want, if you feel that helps you. I like flicking it from the center and then slowly dragging it. And I can go over the under eye area as well because it's just all gonna blend in. Okay, now I'm gonna get my Fenty Cheeks Out Honey Glaze cream bronzer. And I'm just gonna get a beauty blender and pat this into the cream. And now I'm gonna just add it to the cheekbones here. So right from the middle of the ear, buff it inwards so you're almost creating a bit of shape there. Not too much because obviously we're going for like a natural look. Now for the under eye, I'm gonna get my powder again, same one, and my Real Techniques brush. Buff the powder into the brush and then just kind of press it in on my under eye area. Now all I'm doing is whatever leftover powder there is, I'm going to take it around, like I like taking it around the brows because I don't really want shiny brows, taking it around the nostrils and just up this area here. Now I want a nice kind of cheek tint, so I'm going to use the Benefit Go-Go tint. I'm just going to put a couple of stripes there. I'm going to very quickly blend this in because I don't want the blush to be too obvious, but just a little bit coming through. Okay, we've got some really nice colour coming through there now. I'm going to do the brows. I'm going to use my Brow Wiz in Chocolate, and all I'm going to do is just add the brow strokes where I feel that I need it. So usually when I'm doing a natural look, it is hard because obviously I don't have a lot of hair. So like as soon as you start kind of like adding, it is going to obviously look a bit more kind of done because it's been shaped. What I tend to do is just try and rein it in a little bit, you know, because sometimes I can be a bit OTT with the brows, in the sense that I go with the intention of it being natural and then I just can't help it and go all out because I'm like, no, I love strong brows. So yeah, that can be a bit of a struggle for me. I'm going to go in with my lip liner. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. To make it natural, I'm going to basically just very lightly feather in. So it isn't so much about creating a line, it's about just giving it some shape without there looking like there's an actual clean line there. And the way you do that is you feather inwards. Lastly, I'm gonna get this is my Lime Crime brow pen. It's my bushy brow pen, and this is in like, I think baby brown, yeah. And I'm just literally gonna just do a couple of kind of like little specks where I've already got some kind of like sunspots or whatever you want to call them. Right, now I am going to just curl my lashes, and I'm using my Kevin O'Quarr lash curler. I make sure I really get them curled nicely. I'm kind of like pumping it, and that's the best way to get a nice curl. There you go. I'm not going to apply mascara because I feel like with a natural look, I don't think you really have to. Like, I don't have ultra long lashes, to be honest with you, but I think when you curl them, it can make the world of difference. And I think if you've got a really nice kind of base going on and a little bit of color in your cheeks and good brows and a bit of gloss, then I think you can kind of like work it that way. Let's address the textured skin. If I go out like this, I know that in certain lights, you're going to be able to see these obvious areas. And I've used a primer to obviously help minimize the enlarged pores and try and smooth that out, but sometimes that isn't enough. So I'm getting my Ben Nye Bernada powder. I've got it in the palm of my hand, right there, if you can see it. What I'm gonna do is just get my brush, press it into the powder, and I'm just pressing on top. Like, I didn't apply any powder along this area. Because our foundation that we've used is so natural, we can get away with putting powder on top. And I know some people think that when you apply powder, as well as mattifying the area, it kind of makes you look more like you're wearing makeup. But let me let you in on something. When you apply powder, it helps to obviously set the area, but it isn't gonna set, it's not gonna stay super matte like this. Right now it's great because no matter what light I'm in, you're not going to be able to see the texture. Obviously here I haven't applied the powder, but you won't be able to see the texture as much. It's going to kind of, because there's nothing shiny for the light to bounce off of and enhance any flaws that I have. In a little while, and it's different for each person, but I say for me probably about 45 minutes, my natural oil will start to come out in my skin and it's going to just look a little bit more lived in, but it's not going to be ultra shiny like how it was. So it is going to stay kind of matte, like demi matte, but it isn't going to be super shiny and my pores aren't going to be super enlarged either. So at least I've applied the powder and it really helps with that texture. Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, if you keep something matte, then you're not going to be able to see the texture as much as say if it's dewy. What I want to do is keep this matte, but I still want to add a little bit of kind of like dewiness or kind of glow. But I don't want to use a highlighter, like a full-on highlight, because that's just way too much. And you know, sometimes when you use a highlighter, it doesn't actually look like a glow, it just looks really kind of sparkly, and that isn't natural. Okay, so I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani, this is the Luminous Silk Glow Fusion Powder in 5.5, and I'm using my 134 brush. I'm going to just apply this along here so that it just adds a bit of glow, you know, and this area here isn't so textured for me, so I'm fine with applying it there. And you can apply it to any other areas if you want to just add, you know, more glow around the face. Sorry, I just kind of shut the lid and I didn't realize it was that loud. So this is my natural look, and I really wanted to keep it natural, you know, so I wanted it to look natural. If I go up close to someone, I don't feel like this is gonna be like, oh my God, she's wearing so much makeup. I feel like it still does look natural. And plus I haven't got mascara on. I don't feel like I really need it because I feel like my base still looks good. And I feel I'm one of those girls, if you have like really clear skin and good brows, what more do you really want when it comes to your skin? You know, so I have to be, when it comes to your face, like I would really like to just have, these are two things I would, you know, if I could choose, I would love to have super smooth skin and great brows naturally. I mean, you wouldn't even need much then, so you know. So yeah, I wanted to show you how to do natural makeup on my textured skin. You can still follow the same kind of routine if your textured skin is much worse than mine, but obviously maybe increase, you know, like the amount of powder that you need to use at the end. And obviously the results aren't going to be exactly the same, so bear that in mind, but it does help, you know. And I just wanted to show you what my version is of doing natural makeup on textured skin. I hope you like that look, and I hope it kind of like made it a little bit easier for you in case you have textured skin too. Any questions, let me know in the comments box below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.